Let's pay homage to the lineage gurus. Homage to the Venerable Mang Liaoming. Homage to Master Sakya Tsongkhong. Homage to His Holiness the 16th Karmapa. And homage to Master Dubdan Tarji. Homage to the three jewels of the altar. Homage to the main deity of Homa today, the High King Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. Sumo, Tanzan Capsule, Tutan Siddhi, Tutan Karma, all Dharma masters, Dharma lecturers, Dharma teachers, Dharma instructors, Dharma tutors, temple and center directors, and all disciples present here and over the internet. Good afternoon, everyone. How do you do?
Aisteru Sharane Onamiko Kekaramucho Skoin Ichiban Kimachi Jumi Yapi Winipiri Konnichiwa.
I would like to announce for next Sunday, June 9th, at 3 p.m. there would be Mahamayuri Homa fire offering ceremony. Mahamayuri, the Peacock King. I remember 3 Buddhas in her. The union of 3 Buddhas. One is Vairocana Buddha, because he's wearing the Vairocana crown. Second is Sakyamuni Buddha, because once Sakyamuni Buddha was a peacock king. And one is Amitabha Buddha. And Amitabha Buddha transformed parrots, peacocks, jivajikas, kalavinkas. So there are 3 Buddhas in this deity. The Mahamayuri is extremely majestic. She can cure illnesses. Because in the past, a peacock, if they absorb your poisons, then their feathers would become even brighter and more beautiful. In the past, I think that Vidyarajas or the wisdom kings would be like Mahabala, but the peacock king Vidyaraja is very different, very calm, amiable, very beautiful, very bright. It turned out that she's a female, but actually not all females are more beautiful. Like the black wrathful Dakini is also a female, but her look is something that I wouldn't dare to. Many females are like the Rakshasas, and they're very fierce and wise. So the toads would love the meat of the swans, and the ugly toads would be eaten by the beautiful swans. You think that the swans are beautiful, but actually the swans are very fierce and would eat up the toad, the meat of the toad. And today, our homas is that of hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva. And this hiking sutra is something that we have to chant every day. Every day. So he or she is the Dharma Prince of the 7 Buddhas. The 7 Buddhas are the 7 past Buddhas. They are Vipasshin, Shikin, Viswabhu, Krakukchanda, Kanakamuni, Kashyapa, and Sakyamuni. The 7 Buddhas. When I was in Japan, I visited a temple, and at the temple they enshrined the Krakuchandra Buddha. But because in Japan the way they use kanji or Han character is sounded like dog, because actually it should be Ju. They wrote it wrong. But we didn't want to embarrass the abbots there to tell them, because when they copied the Chinese character or the kanji, Ju became dog, just with a slight stroke, missing a stroke. So that's incorrect. We know for sure it's Ji, Krakuchanda Ji in Chinese, but they made it into sounding like dog. But all these names actually were transliterated from the Sanskrit. So chanting, hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra is excellent. Everyone would receive some spiritual response from chanting it. And I also found that hiking Avalokitesvara Sutra has different levels. So the order actually is based on the levels. The first, like the Buddhas, all the countless Buddhas, many jewels Buddhas, Sakyamuni Buddha, Maitreya Buddha, Akshopa Buddha, Amitabha Buddha. So many Buddhas appeared first, and then in front of Sakyamuni Buddha was many jewels Buddha, and then Sakyamuni Buddha, and after Sakyamuni Buddha is Maitreya Buddha. So there's a sequence here. And then the Buddhas in the 6 directions, there's also a sequence there. And some is based on their function. The Pure Light Secret Buddha, Dharma Treasury Buddha, it's based on their functions. So it's ordered that way, and it also includes many, like the Clear Klur Mountain. There are billions of bodhisattvas there, and the Clear Klur Mountain, that's mentioned in the Buddhist sutras refer to the Mount Wutai, San in the Shanxi province. So only this Wutai San or Mount Wutai appears in the Buddhist sutras, and that's the spiritual center of Manjushri Bodhisattva. Wutai San, referred as the clear cool mountain. Billions of bodhisattvas are there at the mountain. China's Wutai San or Mount Wutai appeared in the Buddhist sutras, and there's another mountain which is where the mountain where Mahakashyapa went into retreat was also in China, called the Jizu San, which is the chicken feet mountain, because the mountain looks like chicken feet. The hiking sutra has nothing to criticize, because inside it there are Buddha's name and Bodhisattva's names. So chanting the Buddha's name, and one of them is Amitabha Buddha. Amitabha Buddha. And the key here is that it can eradicate the suffering of birth and death and all kinds of harms and poisons. By chanting the hiking sutra, you can even transcend the suffering of life and death and can eliminate completely all harms and poisons. So there's such benefits, such a great benefits. So birth and death, or life and death, are actually very full of suffering. When we were inside the womb of our mothers, the fetus cannot be independent. So even when they suffer, they cannot express it. It's the unspeakable suffering. According to the description in the sutras, they were being enshrouded. They cannot move at all. When the fetus inside the womb, they have feeling, sensations. So that's why there's now fetus education. Because like after a few months or a few days, they have perceptions, or they have a sensation, and they sense that they felt they were being bounded all around, that they cannot move at all. So that must be full of suffering. Just imagine. There's no freedom at all. You don't know what kind of suffering that is. And then outside, it's just layers of water, a layer of water, so that you suffer. If the mother is exercising, then you would feel as if it's an earthquake. And if the mother drinks hot soup, then it would be so hot for you that you shout. Or if the mother is eating ice cream, as if you're in the extreme cold hell, so cold. So they can perceive or sense the heat, cold, and unable to move. So it turns out that the birth is also suffering. I saw a sutra. It's called the Sutra of Exiting the Womb. Can you please check if they exist? Oh, entering the Sutra of Entering into the Womb. And it's also written in the Ayurveda. When the fetus is inside a mother's womb, what is the situation? It's described in the Ayurveda. When I read that, wow, it turned out that so once we were born, we didn't know about the suffering of birth. Actually, not just the mother, but also the baby that's being born. And they have to come out from such a tiny opening, and the head has to go through first. Just imagine. So the Sutra of Entering the Womb, if you read that, then you would know the suffering of birth. And after I read the Ayurveda, it's also recorded when the fetus starts to have feelings and sensations, and that's also suffering. And when the mother eats salted chicken, fried chicken, and then the fetus would feel like as if it's swimming in the salted ocean water. So the whole fetus is becoming savory. And then if the mother is drinking hot soup, the fetus is so hot. And when the mother eats ice cream, then the fetus would be so cold. It's recorded in the Ayurveda. Therefore, birth is also suffering. And death, after death, actually there's no suffering. But right at the moment of death or dying, that's the most suffering. So it's very important that we want to avoid the suffering of birth and death. The suffering of death refers to the suffering right at the moment of dying or right before death. And if you don't have any more suffering of dying, then it would be, then you can be reborn in this pure land very happily. But if you have to suffer at the moment of dying, then you wouldn't remember anything, like, because it's full of suffering. How can you remember the name of the Buddha? That's why I often think, that's why we want to eradicate the suffering of dying. Because if you don't, then you would have problem going to the Pure Land. And so that at the moment of dying, you can be in self-control and you have no suffering, so you can be single-minded and in meditation. So Grandmaster Lu today does not have any capability. My only capability now is to pray and to meditate and to be single-minded, nothing else. Pray and single-mindedly meditating is very important. So hiking Avalokitesvara for taking tests, asking for children, asking for resources, eradicating karmic sicknesses, also to be reborn in the Pure Land, extremely wonderful for those, the above. So this sutra is the sutra that I most revere, and also True Buddha Sutra. So the hiking Avalokitesvara is extremely great. At my home in Taiwan, called the Bodhisattva Peak, there is the hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, and also at the South Mountain Retreat. I would always chant their names. At my house, in sequence, Namo Siddhikapa Bodhisattva, Namo Mahasri, Namo Sakyamuni Buddha, Namo Mahodara Heruka, Namo Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Namo Hiking Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva, Saraswati, Namo Amitabha Buddha, Namo Green Tara, White Tara, the Three Treasure, Golden Mother, the lineage gurus, Guru Padmasambhava, Thousand Arm, Avalokitesvara, Akalanatha, Mahabala, Yamantaka, the Black Rifle Dakini, Golden Mother, the Primordial Pond, Krishna. We added Krishna. And then all the deities in the refuge tree, Adharma Buddha, Ishijoga, Kalachakra Buddha, Golden Mother of the Primordial Pond, Tiger Head Vajra, and then all the deities on the lower floor, So I would call upon them and chant their names every day, especially the hiking Avalokitesvara at the South Mountain Retreat is extremely magnificent, dignified. Every time before I sit on my Dharma throne, there is always a sage sitting there. And as soon as I get to it, then he would move away, so I can sit on it. And then after I get off, there would be another sage that would be seated on my Dharma throne. That's the situation at my home. So on my Dharma throne, there's always someone seated on it. They only give way when I want to sit on it. And behind my Dharma throne, there's Green Tara. To my right is Amitabha Buddha. To my left is White Tara. And in front is the thousand-armed, thousand-eyed Avalokitesvara. And next it's hiking Avalokitesvara and Saraswati. And then the Arya saving Tara. So across in front of me, the high thousand-eyed, thousand-armed Avalokitesvara hiking Avalokitesvara, and then Saraswati, which is the goddess of marvelous sound. And Saraswati was actually wearing the celestial garments, and then my little granddaughter Duin, and when she saw Saraswati, so she touched the ribbons, and then it broke. And it's okay. So we use the glue, super glue, to glue it back. Lu Yin really love Mahabala. She really loves Mahabala. Always touch his toes and his legs. And his whole body. So when Lu Yin comes, he always loved to rub Mahabala. I don't know why. She loves him. And he looked horrendous and fierce, but she's not afraid of him. And before she comes, and she saw all these Vajra protectors and manifested to show her many bodhisattvas, and then she would say, wow, more Buddhas. And Fu Qing asked, where? And then before she leaves, my little granddaughter, so strange. Every time she comes to my home, she would say, more Buddhas, very loudly. And where? There. She would say, there. So hiking Avalokitesvara is more Buddhas and more Bodhisattvas, many Buddhas, many Bodhisattvas, so many at my home, too many. All the Buddhist statues on the lower floor shrine. As soon as you enter the door, there would be Akalanata. Here's Mahabala, here Akalanata, there Yamantaka. So 3 Vajra deities right there. And 2 more coming from the 10 directional chapter. That's being sculpted, but they encountered some trouble. Because they were all sculpted in China. One is Hevajra, and one is Uchusma. So they had 2 deities sculpted. So in the future, in my living room, there would be 5 great Herukas. It really has become a Lizang temple, South Mountain Lizang temple. And then when we are gone, it would be given to Buddha Foundation, and they can make it into a museum. And everything, we have everything in there. So we'll make the South Mountain Retreat into a museum. There would be Hevajra and Uchusma. But America stopped it and asked the custom, like how much it costs, the value times 3 is the custom that we have to pay. Oh, so what should they do? So that the Dokjen Center now has to find a way, because China is very productive. If the cars are imported to America, then all American cars would be taken over, because they're cheaper and good, and they can produce electric cars every 3 seconds. It's just 3 seconds. One one electric vehicle would be produced. It's possible in America. So what America can do is to tax the custom. So whatever the value of the item being sent here, times 3. So that's called trade wars. So now there's no free trade anymore. It's game over. Free trade is game over. In the past, we were talking about free trade for the whole world. So, but if you are not as competitive as others, you'd be dead. So now they impose trade wars. So now Chinese cars go to Brazil. In Brazil, now there are 7 times more Chinese cars. So we can say almost all cars are Chinese made there, and also in Australia. So that's all they can do, because they block them in America and Europe, or they impose a very high tax or custom. But production in China is really strong. So free trade is dead by now. There's no more free trade. Now it's the era of trade wars. Let me share a joke. How do you say kangaroo? Oh, kangaroo says, "What use is my big pocket? I still have no money." And the fish said one thing: "Even if you kill me, I would never get on the net." And the octopus, said, "I have..." Oh, this is only meaningful in Chinese. And the cow said that everybody drinks my milk, but nobody calls me mom. And the mosquitoes said that everybody's clapping for me, so it's worth to be dead. Even if I die, it's worth it. And there's what's that called? Hedgehog. Hedgehog said, "I really love to feel how it feels to be hugged." Okay, let Grandmaster tell this joke, which I've told at lunch today. When I hug a little girl, I feel recharged. But when I'm being hugged by an old lady, then I feel like I'm being my batteries being taken. My gurus told me, Grandmaster Lu, remember, there are certain type of women that you should never touch. One, should never touch an old lady, old woman, because they would suck all of your energy. Never touch an old lady. If a lady is already old, they would draw or suck in all your energy, and should never touch a sick woman. So if you touch them, then you forsake yourself. And you should also never touch a handicapped or disabled woman, like no leg or no hand, no arm, or mentally retarded should not be touched. There would be a sacrifice as well. So old, sick, disabled, and a woman who's giving birth also should not be touched. Because you would also suffer from the suffering of giving birth. Also, woman who has a death in the family, because the yin energy will encroach on you. Like if they have a family member who just died, you should not touch her, because their body would be filled with yin energy. Those were spoken by my gurus. 5 types of women should not be touched. I don't know. That's what the guru said. Is that it's for me or for all the men? I don't know. But the gurus told me this, that you should not touch these 5 women, not even hugging them. So I'm just telling you the secret. It's something that shouldn't have been told. So don't tell anyone, okay? Old, sick, handicapped, giving birth, and having a death in the family. Oh, just had a death. Now we'll do the Q&A. Question from Malaysia, Lian Hua Cheng Hua. Amitabha, homage to the lineage root guru, living Buddha Lian Sheng. May Buddha bless you with peace. In Grandmaster's Book 206, Inconceivable Transcendental Power, Article 26, Sky Full of Mantra Sounds, you wrote, I'd say the Padma Kumara mantra includes the Great Will Vajra mantra, the Sunlight Bodhisattva mantra, the Mariji mantra, and others. Great Will refers to the Guru, Sunlight refers to the Lian Sheng, Mariji refers to the Siddhi. Especially the word Siddhi, which accomplishes 7 types of merits. Blessing the donors with achievement, blessing the accomplishment of faith, blessing the accomplishment of moral conduct, blessing the accomplishment of the virtue of listening, blessing the accomplishment of materials and forms, blessing the accomplishment of tasting the Dharma, blessing the accomplishment of fragrant light. My mantra can bless the sacred disciples. If you encounter any dangers or difficulties, reciting it yourself, reciting it by others, or reciting by Grandmaster Lu will produce the 7 great blessings. I'm telling everyone, as long as you recite the mantra and complete the mantra practice, you will definitely be reborn in the Mahatwin Lotus Ponds. As long as you recite the mantra and complete the mantra practice, you will definitely receive great Dharma blessings and all wishes fulfilled. As long as you recite the mantra and complete the mantra practice, you will definitely receive protection and all difficulties will be dispelled. Now, this is his questions. Guru Buddha, why the Padma Kumara mantra also includes the Great Wheel Vajra mantra, Sunlight Bodhisattva mantra, and Marichi mantra? Please clarify. Guru Buddha, please explain the significance of the 7 types of merits achieved: donor, faith, moral conduct, virtue of hearing, the Dharma, materials, tasting the Dharma, and fragrant light. Oh my gosh. If after replying to him, we don't have time to talk about Vimalakirti Sutra. Too many questions. This Guru, why does it refer to the Great Wheel? Let me tell you. We have the so-called Great Wheel Bodhisattva or Great Wheel Heruka. The Great Wheel Vajra deity is the Vajra deity of Maitreya Bodhisattva. Great Wheel Vajra deity. All gurus in the Saha world are like Maitreya Bodhisattva, delivering sentient beings. So just the word Guru symbolizes, I often says, right, that Jesus Christ is my Guru, because he is delivering sentient beings, helping sentient beings, salvaging sentient beings in the world. Jesus Christ, when he was crucified, he said, as I'm being hoisted onto this cross, I would salvage tens of thousands of people following me. When I am hoisted on this cross, I will attract tens of thousands of people to believe in me. So I've said this, that Jesus Christ was the son of a carpenter. Back then, Joseph, when I was in the Bible studies, we read it in Taiwanese. So Joseph and Marie, or Maria, went back to their hometown for a census, and they passed by Bethlehem and gave birth to Jesus on a manger. And then they went back. Joseph brought Maria and Jesus to Nazareth. So Jesus was also studying carpentry from his father, and he disappeared for over 10 years. That was recorded in the Bible. So for that time, he went to the Himalayas. And he learned from gurus, and then after coming back, he wore differently. He wore different outfit, a white lama outfit, either white or this lama maroon color. And the way he wrapped the robe around himself with a piece of cloth. So what he was wearing afterward was like the outfit worn by the lamas. So Jesus was born in Bethlehem, then returned to Nazareth, and then he went to study from gurus to learn Dharma, and after he came back, he had light on him. So John the Baptist was baptized on the river, by the side of the river, and when he was baptizing Jesus, the sky split and opened, and there was a sound, a voice. This is my son, my beloved son. So Jesus became the Son of God. So Christians call the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. And the three are in union, the Trinity. Father refers to God, the Son refers to Jesus, and the Holy Spirit, the angels. So all the angels are referred to as the Holy Spirits. That's in Taiwanese. When I was baptized, the minister, I use this water to baptize you, in the name of the Father, Son, and the Holy Spirit. So the baptism was different. There was like a tub that the whole person has to be dipped in water, so as if you're cleansed and you're being reborn. But in the Presbyterian church, for us, they sprinkle water. So I use water to baptize you in the name of the Father, Son, and Holy Spirit. So the great wheel Vajra is Maitreya Bodhisattva's Vajra manifestation. So everyone that's turning the great wheel is called Guru. So I'm explaining it to you. So Padma Kumara mantra includes the great wheel Vajra mantra, Om Guru. Which is turning the Dharma wheel. Jesus is also turning the Dharma wheel. Muhammad too is turning the Dharma wheel. Many gurus do. So this means they are turning the Dharma wheel. What is sunlight Bodhisattva? So in Medicine Buddha, sunlight radiance Bodhisattva, moonlight radiance Bodhisattva, they come to give light to people. Om Guru, lotus born, that's Lien Seng, and then Padma means lotus. So Guru Padma Sama's mantra, Om Becha Padma Hum. Om Becha Padma Hum. Padma is lotus, lotus born. So Grandmaster's mantra, Lien Seng means lotus born, which means Padma. And Padma or lotus represents brightness or light in Buddhism, just like the sunlight. So the Guru is the one who gives light to people. Guru is not someone who gives darkness, but to give light. Then of course that's sunlight Bodhisattva. Om Guru Lien Seng Siddhi Hum. And why? Siddhi is Mariji. Mariji is the the victorious warrior Buddha. So our two protectors in Buddha school is Mahabala and Marici Bodhisattva. So Marici Bodhisattva is the one traveling swiftly in front of the sun. Marici Bodhisattva. Why Marici mantra? Om Marici Soha. Because he's the victoriously warrior Buddha. It represents victory. Siddhi is attainment. Many mantras include Siddhi. Siddhi, attainments, complete. So, perfect attainment is victory, and victory is Marici. It's very easy to explain, right? So, very easy to explain. Of course, sunlight. Lotus is sunlight. Siddhi is perfect attainment, and that's victory in our battles in order to be perfect. So we can say the victorious ground. And there are many explanations to Siddhi. Perfection, victory, attainment, or success. And that's Marici's mantra. So I've answered the first question. The 7 kinds of accomplishments of merits. Of course. Why are you asking this? And everyone who chant the mantra, of course, would have the merits. If you're donors, if you're benefactors, you make offerings, of course, you have merits. Faith is the mother of merits, and precepts too, and listening or the Dharma, of course. Upon listening or hearing the Dharma, you would have merit. After hearing the Buddha Dharma, you would have merit. So if you don't come to listen to Dharma teaching, you violate the precepts of negligence. If you're able to come to listen to Buddha Dharma but you don't, you violate the precept of negligence. I look down or undermine the Guru and the his Dharma teaching. If you intentionally not come. And materials and forms, of course, they would give you things. Since you have merits, then of course you would be blessed. Then you would be endowed with materials and Dharma taste, of course, and fragrant light. So what is fragrant light? After studying Buddhism and studying meditation, and when you're purified and you have no blockages in your body, you know, sick person has a certain scent because they're sick. Why are they sick? Because they have blockages in their channels and their chi. That's why they get sick. So any parts that are blocked, then there would be pain or discomforts. Or you have blockages in your arteries or heart. That means your channels are blocked. Or your brain has problems. It has blockages. Or blockages inside your body. Or ailing. So the attainments of fragrant light. So how can a sick person have fragrance? You just go to the hospital rooms, all the qi or the breath that they exhale, you can vomit. They have no fragrance or no fragrant light. But if your channels and qi are open and smooth, then the scent that you exude would be fragrant. But if you're sick, that you would smell badly. Light. When the qi and channels all over your body is open and flowing smoothly, then as for tantrika, you would generate light. Each of the skin pore would generate light. And your skin will not be dark and without light. Generally speaking, for an 80-year-old, they have no light on their face, no radiance. There was a look and no teeth and wrinkles all over the face. And wrinkles at the end of the eyes, and no luster on the skin. It will be old, wrinkled, and dark, you know. But look here, it's nice and fair. It's fair and smooth and lustrous. See the skin. It's not bad to have such a skin at 80. Still glowing. At 80, I will show you. And you can check if there are wrinkles or pockmarks or black energy. Checking our own skin. That's part of spiritual cultivation. That's a fragrance and light. It would glow, luminous. But if you have just dark energy all over the face or body, then they're in bad luck or sick, or they sunbathe too much. But that's not counted. Sunbathing is not the problem. It's not a problem. But the face is definitely radiant, that people can tell that they are not sick. But a sick person is to have a very yellowed, sick look. Otherwise, I can show my legs and then do a dance pole dancing. So it's fragrance and glowing. There's no foul smell, and if you're sick, definitely there would be a foul smell, whichever part that's ailing. Then, of course, you would have the dignified look with fragrance and light, and with Dharma taste, whatever they say. Will bestow material things, and listening or hearing Buddha Dharma, that's a merit. If you abide by the precepts, that's a merit. And if you have faith, then you have merits. And if you give and give to ordained people, that's also merit. the 7 types of merit accomplished. Can I finish today? Oh, 5:14 already? Oh no. Vimalakirti Sutra. As Buddhists, we should not be proud or arrogant, because arrogance is a Mara or demon. It's already mentioned in the Bible. Arrogance or pride is a demon. Why? In the Genesis, it's written that God created heaven and earth in 6 days, and on the 7th day, He rested. So Sunday is a resting day. The 7th-day Adventist, 70-day Adventist, 7 days. So He created heaven and earth in 6 days, and every day He would say, "Oh, the creation today is good," except for one day He did not say that His creation today was good. So those who study the Bible would know why that day was not good, because God did not say that what I created today was good. He created heaven and earth in 6 days. And the 7th day was a resting day, which was Sunday. But of the 6 days, there was one day that He did not say it was good, because what He created, the head of the angels, was Satan, demon, which was Satan, called Lucifer. And we call him Po Xun. In Buddhism, we call him Po Xun. They call him Satan. So arrogance or pride is something that we Buddhists should not have. So at this time, the inconceivable Bodhisattva would appear as a great powerful being. In Buddhism, there are many enlightened ones who become arrogant. I'm enlightened already. I don't need teachers. I don't need yidams. I don't need anything. I'm enlightened already. I'm a Buddha. I am empty. I am empty nature. All I have is Buddha nature. I don't need anything. So that's an arrogance. So that's called superiority and arrogance. And gurus that you have taken refuge in, forget them. I'm higher than they are. So that's superiority. When that happens, the inconceivable Bodhisattva will manifest as a great powerful being to subdue all who are haughty, causing them to abide on the perfect and highest enlightenment, the true enlightenment. This is what it means. For those whose minds are proud and arrogant, the inconceivable Bodhisattvas appear as a great powerful being, subduing all who are haughty, causing them to abide in the highest perfect enlightenment path. For the masses who are fearful, staying in front to comfort and reassure them, first bestowing them with fearlessness, then causing them to arouse the aspiration for enlightenment. Of course, many people are fearful. There are many people and also many things that would cause fear in you. And all is fine, and you come home, and all of a sudden there's a poisonous snake right in front of your door. Then you would be scared, right? That's fear. So, for the masses who are fearful, stay in front to comfort and reassure them. Bodhisattvas always comfort, to tell you not to be afraid. That the galls of the snakes are still very medicinal, nutritious. But you can't say that. That would be killing. To teach you to be fearless, no need to be scared, and find a way, and then to cause them to arouse the mind for enlightenment. So to generate the aspiration for enlightenment. For the masses who are fearful, stay in front to comfort and reassure them. The great Bodhisattvas, first bestowing them with fearlessness, and then teach them how to walk the Buddha's path. Sometimes manifesting as one who abstains from sexual desire, as a sage with 5 supernatural powers, guiding various sentient beings to abide in morality, patience, and loving kindness. So a great Bodhisattva sometimes manifests that they have abstained from the 5 desires. So from wealth, but this is sexual desire. So, sensual pleasure, desire. So, the 5 transcendent powers. So, all the supernatural powers, which is with divine hearing, divine seeing, knowing what's on others' minds, knowing past and future lives, and transcendent travel. So 5 supernatural powers. The great Bodhisattva appears as a sage with 5 supernatural powers, and to guide the various beings with their supernatural powers, so to abide in precepts, endurance, and loving kindness, compassion, so that they can abide by the precepts, they can endure, and they can generate compassion. Sometimes the great Bodhisattva appears to abandon a sexual desire as a sage with 5 supernatural powers, guiding various sentient beings to abide in morality, endurance, and compassion. Seeing those who require service and attendance, appearing as a servant or slave for them. So a great Bodhisattva also appears to be like a servant for those who need their help, having pleased and satisfied their minds, their wishes, then arousing in them the aspiration for enlightenment. Like the goddess who scatters flowers is the attendant to Vimalakirti, and she had been a great Bodhisattva before, and yet she became his attendant. So pleasing and satisfying the minds or the wishes of the masters, and yet guiding them so that they generate the mind for the enlightenment according to their needs to attain entry into the Buddhist path. So you give whatever they need and then guide them onto the Buddhist path, the Buddha's path. With the power of skillful means, being able to satisfy them all. So that's a skillful means or convenient methods. So use all kinds of skillful means and convenient methods to satisfy your masters. And after they're satisfied, you teach them Buddha Dharma. That's what they do. In this way, the paths are immeasurable. The practices have no boundaries. Buddha's path is immeasurable. And all they do are boundless. So everything that the great Bodhisattvas do are boundless. They can do anything. There is also a statement in the Bible, anything they can do. But they added this that's different from Buddhism. They said, anything they can do, but they may not necessarily be benefits. But in Buddhism, anything they can do, and anything is Buddha Dharma. As long as they're part of the skillful means that you can do. But lastly is to guide them onto Buddha Dharma. Anything can be done. So what Vimalakirti said, most importantly, is everything is Buddha Dharma. Anything can be done. But lastly is to guide them onto Buddha Dharma. Then I say that first you entice them with desire only to lead them onto the Buddha's path later. I have told the story about Ganapati, right? Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva transformed into a female Ganapati, because at that time when Ganapati just came out, he did many horrendous evil things and harmed many people, many beings. And Avalokitesvara, in order to transform or deliver him, transform into female Ganapati to seduce or entice the male Ganapati. So to arouse his desire and then to make him fall in love with her. So he chased after her. But she always maintained a distance of 3 steps and he could never get her. So the male Ganapati asked the female Ganapati, so what should I do in order to get you? And she said, one thing, if you follow me, then I will marry you. But you need to study Buddha Dharma, then I will marry you. And the male Ganapati, in order to satisfy his own desire, he immediately agreed. Sure, I will not harm any more people, any more beings. I will marry you, and I will learn Buddha Dharma from you. So that becomes the dual body Ganapati. That's the extremely blissful Deva Devi. So even Avalokitesvara Bodhisattva can sacrifice themselves to become a female Ganapati and marry a male, the real Ganapati. And that's to guide him so that he did not do evil things anymore, and then to become good and to be on the Buddha's path. So anything can be done, but they're all to guide you to study Buddha Dharma. So all these verses are about that. So the paths are immeasurable, and all the conducts of the bodhisattvas are boundless, and the wisdom is limitless, liberating countless sentient beings. So that's the deliverance of the great bodhisattvas. Let me just read them. Even if all the Buddhas, for countless of billions of kalpas, were to praise their merits and virtues, they would still not be able to exhaust them. Even all of the Buddhas, for countless time, infinite time, were to praise the merits and virtues of the inconceivable bodhisattvas, they still can't exhaust. Who, hearing such a dharma, would not arouse the body-mind? So everyone who hears such a dharma will generate a bodhicitta, except for those ignoble people who are foolish, benighted, and ignorant. Just one type of people. And what type? The truly evil people, or foolish, dumb, benighted, and they think darkness is good. When they can't see any light, that's good. They think that's good. They're lacking wisdom at all. So only those kind of people cannot be delivered, but the rest can be delivered. But in the world, such foolish, ignorant people still exist. And you tell them Buddha Dharma, they wouldn't even want to listen. I'm so happy fighting people, and when I win, I feel happy. Such a person still exists in this world. We can't say that they don't exist. And you tell them Buddha Dharma, oh, they won't listen at all. That's a problem above the clouds, above the heaven. It's none of my problem. I like living the way I do, very happy. So foolish, benighted, and no wisdom, ignoble, they ignore you. You're a guru? What kind of guru are you? I am the great guru. They just ignore you and they look down on you. Listening to Buddha Dharma at the temple? No, it's better to go to a nightclub. Why would I want to go to Seattle Temple or Rainbow Temple listening to Buddha Dharma? Oh wait, no, I have no time. I'm so busy. So they undermine it. But other than those people, but they like how they are, and they're very foolish. So that's nothing we can do. That's it for the verse.